the 11th episode of our podcast, which we call the 𝘲𝑢𝑚𝑜𝑡𝑖 podcast, which is also known as the Value Podcast. My name is Gabriel and I'm hosting you this evening. I trust that you're well from wherever that you're tuning in from. This side it's evening already. So without wasting much of our time, under the business and entrepreneurship segment that we fall under this evening, I want us to talk about something that we don't really pay attention to in most cases. We do not pay attention to this particular, area as we pursue business success. Everyone wants to be successful. Everyone is pushing to get there. Everyone is trying to, become the best at what they do. And so what they're trying to do is to try by all means to grab the next trending, style, the next trending this, the next trending that. We're just on the go, especially for the startups. Of course, we invite everybody to come in, but of course, as we want to bear in mind, we would love to understand that the people that are just beginning in business do face a lot of challenges because of course we are learning while it's on the ground. So it becomes very difficult to know what we're supposed to do and what we shouldn't be doing. So we end up doing everything in the name of trying, So today we're going to talk about, what are the dangers, what are the negatives, what are the, repercussions of being too curious and so inquisitive in business. When you become too inquisitive, when you become too curious, wanting to know the strategies that these big guys have been using, trying to be very inquisitive about the techniques and the skills that would make your business grow. As startups, we fail because we don't stick our minds or our hands onto something that we know is truly helping us from the ground. Listen, there's nothing wrong in trying to aim so high. There's absolutely nothing wrong to try and aim that high. It's just that important for you to aim that high in your business. But as far as you want to aim that high, there's also need for you to pay attention to what is working for you now. There's a business philosophy or terminology that I love sharing with the people, which goes as path dependence. The path dependence concept, it's a concept that encourages us to not only be out there grabbing new opportunities, new ideas, making new connections, attending this new conference after the other conference, and trashing the strategies, the ideas that once worked for you. In the path dependence concept, we are encouraged to identify methods, strategies, ideas that once worked for us or that are working for us, and not trash them but keep them so that they can be of help at the time that we need that help. It's not everything you're going to trash. It's not everything you're going to throw off because it's in the past. As a startup, identify what strategies are working for you. As a startup, identify what ideas, what initiatives have worked for you over the time in your business, and be able to stick around those strategies and ideas. It's not every time you're going to discard what worked for you because it's old-fashioned. It's bad manners, actually, as an entrepreneur, to call a strategy that worked for you as outdated. Because if it can still work for you today, there's no need to grab a new idea. There's no need to, catch a new conference. The way you're gonna get these motivational speakers speak to you, and at the end of the day, they speak from to you from the abundance of experience and knowledge and things like that, and according to their level. But you have to relate to some extent. At some point, there's need for you to relate. There's need for you to relate with what's on the ground. It will become unnecessary for you to discard what is working or what once worked for you and grab a new idea that you can't fit in because it's not yet at your level. So the path dependence concept, the path dependence ideology is actually an idea that encourages us to lean onto something that works. Every level in business that you attain that level because you applied some level of strategy or idea or technique that once worked for you. And if you look at it, if it's working for you, do not hesitate to adopt that idea and let it work for you. Because in most cases, we do confuse ourselves as startups by always trying to grab a new idea that we are not even ready to execute because we probably are not in that particular dimension of business. So it becomes very difficult, very, very difficult for you as a startup to, keep track of what you do, because basically it's not relatable. It's not relatable. You rush and run for the newest idea in town, and you cannot relate with the idea, basically because the person that is sharing that idea is out of your catch, is out of your reach, in that they're at a level where you are unable to relate with. Embrace formulas, ideas, techniques, skills that helps you in business right now. That is actually the catch. That is actually the idea. So thank you for having joined me this evening. My name is Gabriel. I've been your host right here on our podcast that we call the 𝘲𝑚𝑜𝑡𝑒 podcast, which is also called as the Value Podcast. On this podcast, once again, just to run you for the last time on what we do here, we actually come in and cover various topics that vary from entrepreneurship and business. We do talk about academics and, career. We come through and talk about mental health. We do also cater for spirituality, and we bring in also heroes of life, as I would love to call them, that might have gone through things, that were life-threatening and have overcome such things. We bring them on board to come and share their life-changing story that we may be, helped in our way of life. If in any way you may be going through the things that they have gone through, you will find help right here on the podcast. We focus much on the healing of people, relationships, and the country as we go through several different things that might have broken our lives, and we are no longer the same. So this evening, I thank you for having joined me. I look forward to having you in the next episode. This has been the 11th episode, and looking forward to having the 12th episode, where I'll share more depending on what we prepare. We hope to have a guest very soon, and it will be announced as we do have that guest coming, so that you can prepare for that guest who's going to share their life experience and stories, so that we can be helped, just like I have mentioned. We do bring different issues, like, something that we can relate with. It's very exciting to be here. And of course, I will share more as we come the next time. So for now, thank you so much for having watched and stayed with me. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Good night.